It is perhaps the greatest mystery of all time, a lost, advanced civilization swallowed by the sea. Atlantis. The moment you hear the name, you think of a mighty empire, a technologically superior civilization, crystal towers, flying machines, all swallowed by the ocean in a single, terrible act of nature. But what if all of it was the single greatest lie in history? And what if the proof isn't at the bottom of the ocean, but is hiding in plain sight in the middle of the Sahara Desert? In this video, we aren't just retelling the myth, we are putting the great philosopher Plato on trial. We will hunt for the truth behind this 2,400-year-old story, and what we find might change how you see history entirely. The first thing you must know: every single myth about Atlantis originates from one man. Not from ancient Egyptian scrolls, not from Sumerian legends, but from the mind of the great Greek philosopher Plato around 360 BC. In two of his dialogues, Timaeus and Critias, Plato described Atlantis in chilling detail. He said that 9,000 years before his time, meaning 11,400 years ago for us, there was a mighty island named Atlantis. It was located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, what we now call the Strait of Gibraltar, the gateway to the Atlantic. Plato wrote that Atlantis was larger than Libya and Asia Minor combined. It was an undefeated empire. Its capital city was built of 3 concentric rings of water and 2 of land, connected by bridges and a massive canal to the sea. They had gleaming metallic walls, lavish temples to the god Poseidon, and a powerful army that had conquered most of the Mediterranean. But then, in their arrogance and greed, they failed to invade Athens, and shortly after, the gods grew angry. Plato wrote, "In a single, terrible day and night, the island of Atlantis was swallowed by the sea and vanished." A tragic story, but there's one huge problem. Why would Plato, a philosopher who wrote about ethics, politics, and reality, suddenly tell a story that sounds like science fiction? Was he recording history, or was he inventing a moral lesson? For thousands of years, most people, including Plato's own student Aristotle, believed Atlantis was just a fable. And the fiction case is extremely strong. Argument 1. No other ancient text, not Egyptian, Persian, or Phoenician, ever mentions a place called Atlantis. It appears suddenly in Plato's work and vanishes. Argument 2. It was clearly a philosophical tool. Plato created Atlantis as the perfect paper tiger enemy, a powerful, wealthy, but corrupt empire to contrast with his idealized, moral, and brave Athens. It was a lesson on arrogance, that even the greatest civilization will fall if it loses its virtue. Argument 3, the most important: the geological evidence. Scientists have mapped the entire floor of the Atlantic Ocean. There is zero evidence of a sunken continent or an island larger than Libya and Asia. Geologically, it's impossible. Tectonic plates don't just sink. So, case closed. Atlantis was a fable. The end. But what if Plato wasn't lying? What if he was misremembering? This is where it gets interesting. Maybe Atlantis wasn't a continent, but a distorted memory of a real catastrophe passed down for thousands of years. Hypothesis 1, the most popular: the Minoans, Santorini. Around 1600 BC, the Minoan civilization on Crete and Thera, modern Santorini, were masters of the Mediterranean, a powerful naval civilization. But then, the cataclysmic eruption of Thera. It vaporized the island, creating massive tsunamis that wiped the Minoans off the map. A powerful seafaring civilization, destroyed in a cataclysm. Sound familiar? The problem: it's the wrong time, not 9000 BC, but only 1600 BC, and the wrong place, the Mediterranean, not the Atlantic. Did Plato just add a zero to the date? Hypothesis 2. The Black Sea Flood. Some geologists believe the Black Sea was once a freshwater lake before the Mediterranean Sea breached the Bosporus Strait, flooding thousands of square miles of land very quickly. A real catastrophe, but the scale is too small for Plato's story. All these theories feel incomplete. They don't quite fit. We are about to look at a piece of evidence so compelling it has taken the internet by storm. If you love exploring mysteries like this, hit that subscribe button because you won't want to miss what's coming next. In the last few years, the internet has exploded over one shocking location. It's not in the Atlantic. It's in Mauritania, in the middle of the Sahara Desert. It's called the Richat structure, or the Eye of the Sahara. This is it. Do you see anything familiar? Match 1. The shape. Plato described the capital of Atlantis as 3 rings of water and 2 rings of land, alternating with a central island. The Richat structure, bizarrely, also features near-perfect concentric rings with a central island. Match 2. The size. Plato described the central city as being 127 stadia, a Greek unit in diameter. When converted, that is approximately 23.5 kilometers. The diameter of the Richat structure's outer ring, it's 23.5 kilometers. A pause, an exact match. Match 3. The geography. Plato said Atlantis had mountains to the north that protected the city. Look north of the Richat. Mountains. Plato said the city overlooked the sea to the south. The Richat sits on a high plateau that overlooks a vast flat salt plain to the south. Geologists confirmed that thousands of years ago, the Atlantic sea level was much higher, and this area was a massive wetland with the ocean extending far inland. Match 4. The Sea Channel. Plato said a massive canal 50 kilometers long connected the capital to the sea. Look closely at the traces in the sand. We see the clear remnants of an ancient dry riverbed flowing from the south of the Richat, winding its way straight to the Atlantic. 3 rings, a perfect size match, mountains to the north, a sea opening to the south. An uncanny, chilling coincidence. Could this be it? Was Plato right about the Atlantic, and the Sahara was simply part of that empire before desertification? So what do scientists say about the Eye of the Sahara? They confirm 100% that the Richat structure is natural. It was not built by humans. It is a geological dome that has eroded, a geological process that formed 100 million years ago, about 90 million years before Plato's Atlantis. Those rings are layers of sedimentary and magmatic rock pushed up and worn down over eons. The matching size and shape, it is an unbelievable cosmic coincidence. The human brain is a pattern-finding machine. We are so hungry for patterns that we will connect the dots. It's the same as the Bimini Road in the Bahamas. Blocks that look like a man-made wall, but geologists proved it's just natural beach rock, fractured in straight lines. It's the same as the Yonaguni Monument in Japan. It looks like man-made steps, but it's a natural sandstone formation. We want to believe so badly that we see Atlantis everywhere. So we return to the first question. Did Plato lie? The answer is yes. Plato's Atlantis is almost certainly a philosophical tool, a fable, a brilliant product of his imagination. But this is the most important part. Just because it isn't real doesn't mean the myth is useless. Ask yourself, why for 2,400 years are we still obsessed with Atlantis? We've forgotten thousands of other fables. Because this story touches our deepest human fears and hopes. It touches our fear that our civilization, with all our skyscrapers, our internet, our technology, is fragile, that it could be wiped away in a single, terrible day and night. And it touches our hope that somewhere in the deep past there was a golden age, a greater, wiser version of ourselves. Atlantis may not exist on a map, in the Sahara or at the bottom of the Atlantic, but it exists powerfully in our minds. It is a mirror to our own arrogance, an eternal warning that when a society becomes too greedy and self-obsessed, its collapse is inevitable. And that is the true legacy of Plato. What do you believe? Was Atlantis real? Just a story? Or a misremembered truth? And what great mystery of history should we investigate next? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.